I got half a foot of snow yesterday. Welcome to Week in Weird. Hello, my name is GiBi, and welcome to Week in Weird for the week of March 14th, 2022. Although I guess it's March 7th is the week that we're going to be going over. Today is the 14th. That's how weeks work. Lego retailer raises $16,000 for Ukraine selling tiny Molotov cocktails. You have your classic green Lego bottle, and then they put a fire piece in it. I'm guessing that the Ukraine flag is custom, though, because it's not a real piece. An independent Lego retailer has raised more than $16,000 for relief efforts in Ukraine by selling minifigures of Vladimir Zelensky and tiny Molotov cocktails. That's amazing, I didn't realize the minifigure part. So the store is called Citizen Brick, and they created a custom minifig of President Zelensky and these custom Molotov pieces. It was a limited time thing, it's already over, it sold out in less than 24 hours. I don't know why the article says 16,000, it was actually 16,540. That's a lot. Now on to some important news. Apparently Elon Musk and his ex-wife have secretly welcomed their second child into the world. So Elon Musk actually has 5 children from his first spouse. Twins, Griffin and Xavier, and triplets, what are the chances of that? Damien, Saxon, and Kai. So those are some pretty out there names, but as you probably know, it was a big meme a couple years ago when Elon's son was born of his second wife, his most recent wife. In May 2020, Grimes, Musk's second wife, gave birth to this. It's apparently pronounced XAI Archangel, but it's spelled X, A symbol, A, X, I. I'm sorry, there's an N dash in there. And what did they name their second child? Well, it was a girl, so naturally they named her, Exa Sideral. Siderael. I refuse to believe that Elon Musk named his daughter Darkside, so it's probably Siderael. Exa Dark Siderael Musk. But that's not the weirdest part of the story, somehow. So the couple has been separated for a while and are now, as Grimes, the wife, puts it, in a fluid relationship. She says that she refers to Musk as her boyfriend. They are living in separate houses, and the baby was not only born of a surrogate, meaning that she did not herself get pregnant, but it was a very secret pregnancy. And the only reason that this leaked is because Grimes was doing an unrelated interview with a journalist, because again, she's a famous singer, and the journalist heard the baby crying in the other room. So that's how we found out about Elon Musk's second secret half baby named Darkside. Also, they nicknamed her Y. Just the letter Y. They named her Exa, but they named her Y. I don't understand. Here's a fun story. So this man's right here. This is Ryan Coogler, very famous director. He directed Black Panther and Creed. Those are his 2 most famous movies. So he's currently working on Black Panther 2. So he walks into a bank to withdraw a big sum of money, because rich and movie-making stuff. He was wearing a hat and sunglasses, because it's hot in the South, and a COVID mask. He went to the counter and handed the bank teller a withdrawal slip, with a note written on the back that reportedly read, "I would like to withdraw $12,000 cash from my checking account. Please do the money count somewhere else. I'd like to be discreet." Which is perfectly rational, because it's $12,000 and he's going to be leaving the building with $12,000 cash and doesn't want people to know that. Also, he's famous. The teller misinterpreted the situation as an attempted robbery. The teller informed her boss that she suspected it was a robbery attempt, and together they called the police. 4 Atlanta Police Department officers arrived at the scene and detained 2 of Coogler's colleagues, who were waiting for him outside the bank in a car with the engine running. Clearly, it's the getaway drivers, right? Coogler's colleagues were detained in the back of a police vehicle, and Coogler was handcuffed and taken out of the bank by 2 of the officers. After verifying Coogler's identity and his Bank of America account, the officers released him and his colleagues. Whoops! Apparently Coogler isn't that mad. He said, "The situation should never have happened, however, Bank of America worked with me and addressed it to my satisfaction, and we have moved on." Obviously, it's funny that something like this happened to a famous person so that we get to read about it in the news. But the part of the story that I just, chef's kiss love, is the colleagues in the car with the engine running. Because if it wasn't suspicious enough that he was coming in, like, with a mask and handing the bank teller a note, is that there was a car running. Why is the car running? I guess gas prices weren't $6 yet. Alright, you might remember from some weeks ago the woman who wrote a poem to Vladimir Putin, saying that if she was his mother, he would have turned out fine, and that this war wouldn't be happening, and all this suffering in the world wouldn't be happening, because she would have raised him right. This is Sam Hyde. He's a comedian, and he has created a poem called Dear Putin, If I Was Your Father. This is a 6.5-minute video up on his YouTube channel. I'm going to have a link to it in the description. I'm just going to play like 30 seconds of my favorite bits, but I obviously want you to go and watch the whole thing.
Dear President Vladimir Putin, I am not your father, but I could be, if you'd let me. Vladimir, not my name of choice. Or maybe Mason Putin. Mason would study medicine for a year at university before realizing it's too hard, then go on a surfing trip to find himself. I would have bounced you on my knee and filled your heart with glee so that you could see that the world doesn't have to be filled with pain and strife because there's a better life. If I was Putin's father, I would teach him how to do the whole alphabet backwards so you can be popular and funny and maybe not turn out as an incel. If I was Putin's father, I would have had him circumcised extra so that he knew how hard it is to grow up with a woman's clitoris. Vladimir, I wish I was your father. We would watch Marvel and Avengers movies so that you could see how a real hero behaves. A real hero uses his shield, not missiles, to protect against Darth Vader and the evil empire.
This is the kind of post-irony thing that I can only one day dream of achieving. Right now, my only brand of humor is being so sarcastic that British people don't know that I'm not actually making fun of their government. Although I guess that the solution to that would be to actually make fun of their government. This next story was brought to my attention by Bulbasquirtle on Twitter. It's kind of like a mini Absurds where we just have someone on the internet doing something silly. Sonic the Destroyer, or @SonicDestroyed, is a very, very angry Sonic fan from Europe who doesn't like the amount, or lack thereof, of Sonic merchandise that makes its way over to Europe. 25 days before the start of Sonic Movie 2, and still not a single merch in Europe. Just to uncover the problem, thanks to Sega from European fans except UK. So in protest of there not being enough Sonic merchandise, he is destroying all of his Sonic merchandise. I decided to destroy my Sonic collection now step by step. It's just frustrating being a Sonic collector when you don't live in the US. They just put stones in your way to get new merch, or you have to import it expensively, because 90% is only sold in US. So now, plush. Next, F44, I don't know what that means. This amount of carnage would make Merlogic blush. If you scroll through his Twitter, you'll find that he argues with a lot of people about the efficacies of destroying plush toys. In the last week or so, he's become infamous in the Sonic community to the point where he's just constantly arguing with people online. So Nintendo Wire posted this tweet about a new Sonic mug, and this guy just says, just in time for that weird guy to smash it. And he responds, oh yeah, I like breaking cups, with a broken Sonic cup. Just another day in the Sonic community. At the very least, I'm not part of it, so I can laugh from the outside. Okay, so the last story is that Nintendo is delaying one of their upcoming video games. Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. Advance Wars is actually an older series that only came to America in the early 2000s for the Game Boy Advance, which is why it's called Advance Wars here. It actually started in Japan on the Famicom, which is their version of the NES, and so it was called Famicom Wars. So in the Japanese version, each entry in the series is called Name of the Console Wars, whereas in America, because the first entry was on the Game Boy Advance, the whole series is called Advanced Wars. You don't care about that. Anyway, they're delaying it because of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Now, this isn't just like some silly, war bad, and this game is about war. We don't want to be associated with that. There's an actual reason for it. Now, again, the game that's being delayed is a remake, so we already know the plot of the original. And so if you go to the Wikipedia page for it, you can see, the story of Advance Wars begins in the field training tutorial mode, with the nation of Orange Star in a war against the neighboring nation of Blue Moon, with Olaf as the Blue Moon Army commanding officer. Olaf suddenly ordered an invasion of the Orange Star Nation and is in battle with the Orange Star Army. You then take control of the Orange Star Command. Blue Moon is clearly supposed to be Russia, and the game starts with them suddenly invading their neighboring country. And this game was supposed to come out in April. The real kicker is, again, like I said, this game is a remake. The original game, which was just called Advanced Wars, it came out on September 10th, 2001, which means that its big marketing push, which was all big tanks and wars and explosions and stuff, would have been on September 10th, 2001, and the following weeks. This game is obviously cursed. Literally cannot catch a break. Thank you for watching. You can follow me on Twitter at GIBI_Devin. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more videos in this series. And most importantly, there's more wheels than doors in the world, and if you think otherwise, you're wrong.